What's up, guys? My name's Adam Gusky, and you're listening to the Mad Awareness Podcast. Happy Monday, guys. I'm going to keep the intro short today, but we're joined by Trent Hillger, aka Thor. He's the heavyweight for the Badgers, two-time All-American, three-time state champ in the lovely state of Michigan for Lake Fenton High School. This was a fun interview. We got talking about just like what the preseason's like for the Badgers, as well as his performance at Senior Nationals and the NCAA heavyweights right now in general, just about how they're all so different and have such different styles. With that being said, that's all I got for you, so let's get it rolling. All right, Trent Hillger, how are we doing today, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Pretty good. Pretty exciting weekend, I'd imagine, getting back into the swing of things.
Yeah, no, it was awesome to get back on the mat. It was good to see everybody. You
Yeah.
don't realize how much you miss all of your opponents until you don't see them for 8 months.
Yeah.
It was nice to wrestle other people other than the guys in the room and your partners in the room, and yeah, it's just good to like hear the whistles again.
Yeah, it's got to be like you probably practice a lot of the same people the last couple months, just like with what's going on. And I imagine that gets old just seeing a lot of the same moves over and over.
Yeah, you get used to the wrestling the same styles, and your own style starts getting tweaked because you know what they're gonna do, and
Yeah,
so it was definitely nice to get out there and feel other people and get out of the room a little bit different.
yeah. What have you like picked anything up recently, like in terms of moves that you hit or your style that you can tell everyone about?
Uh, I just been trying to focus on making my style more crisp. Uh, I like to think I have a pretty good set of technique, and it's just I want to focus on making that technique stronger. Like, I feel like I have a wide range of stuff I can hit, but I want to like focus on little moves here and there, and like focus on working hard in certain positions where I haven't worked hard in the past.
Yeah,
So there's a lot of stuff like front headlocks and like just using my athleticism, using my speed to my advantage instead of just sitting in front of a guy.
good stuff. So what I guess just like in general, what has the preseason been like for you guys at Wisconsin?
So we have an RTC off campus because we aren't allowed back in our room. So
Okay,
we'll go there 4 times a week. We'll go there Tuesday or Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and we'll lift the other 3 days of the week minus Sunday.
okay,
And so we'll just go out there, have an hour and a half practice, about 30 minutes away, and that's about it. And it kind of sucks wasting a lot of gas money having an hour drive between
yeah,
there and back. But I mean, we're getting it done. We found a place to work out. Our school's being a little stingy on letting us back in the wrestling room, so it's nice to have somewhere to wrestle.
yeah. My sister goes to UW Madison, and she was just sending me like pictures of the food lines that when the freshmen are like trying to get food, that just looks terrible,
Oh yeah,
absolutely terrible.
I mean, Wisconsin's the epicenter of COVID right now, so
Yeah,
we're all locked down. Everything's all tight up.
yeah. Who have you been training with the last couple months the most,
Uh,
like
Mainly
individually?
yeah, like Braxton Amos, Newton Smearcheck. He's our RTC like coach slash wrestler for the heavyweight. Pete Christensen, Andrew Salemi, Chris Weiler, who's a transfer from Lehigh, have been like the main group I've been going with.
What is it like wrestling Braxton?
It's a good time. It's a good time. I've known the guy forever. I've known
Okay.
him for probably 10, 11, 12 years. We used to wrestle when we were younger, just at these different camps and stuff like that. So it's different because like he's like adapted his style. I've adapted my style. So when we used to wrestle, we used to see each other all the time. And I went off to college and we didn't see each other for 3 or 4 years. And now his style is completely different back to when it was when I used to wrestle him. But it's nice having another like really athletic body in the room, and he's not afraid of anything. He'll try throwing you on your head. He'll try taking a shot that's there. So it's nice to have someone like really aggressive like that in the room. And I mean that's what's going to make him great is because he's not afraid to try anything. You saw that with this weekend. It was a Greco. He took third in his first senior event as a 19-year-old. So He's going to be good. He's not afraid to try anything, and he's not afraid to do anything, and he has the same mindset in the room. So he gets after it. It's been a good time. Like I said, I've been friends with him for a long time, so it's nice to have him like in our room officially. We can work together all the time.
Yeah, I would imagine he'd be a great partner. But yeah, so like obviously I know he was like one of the number one recruits in high school. Very good recruit for you guys. But what is his wrestling style like? I haven't watched him too much.
He's uh he's just constantly on the attack. He's kind of kind of the perfect like physical specimen, like strong, fast, like, especially for his size. I mean, he was a 220 in high school. He's gonna be 97 here at Madison,
Oh, that's awesome.
and just really fast for his size, strong for his size. Yeah, his technique is great. So it's just converting from that high school to that college style. That's really all he needs to worry about. There's little things here and there that needs to be tweaked, but uh, it's just I think what he's best known for is just his big moves, his aggressive mindset, and just his speed for how big he is.
Man, you guys are gonna be loaded this year. That's gonna be
Yeah,
fun to watch.
yeah, we'll be good. We'll be very good.
Do you guys, I guess like I was gonna ask if you know if like you're gonna have fans at the duels, but obviously that's probably you're not even thinking about that right now. So
Yeah, we have no idea. Our first match as of right now is January 8th.
okay.
Oh, but we have no idea with fans or anything.
Did like legitimate practices they started like last week though?
Yeah, so a lot of schools I saw that like I think it's October 10th or 11th is like technically supposed to be the start of the wrestling season,
Hmm.
and we're hoping to get back in our room soon. We've our team's been really good with negative COVID tests. Like we run 5 or 6 straight weeks of negative COVID tests. So we're hoping that gets the more important people, the people who make those business decisions to let us in the wrestling room here soon.
Yeah, yeah, hopefully. But so yeah. So we kind of talked about this. You wrestled at senior nationals, took fourth, pretty solid performance. Well, are you kind of glad that you that tournament's over with, so you can focus on folk style more now? Or
Uh, yeah, a little bit. I mean, I like freestyle a lot. So I've been training freestyle since the end of the season because I didn't know whether like what tournaments were going to happen this summer. So pretty much since the middle of April, I've been training freestyle until I had my Beat the Streets match, and then I've been just training as soon as I found out senior nationals was happening. I went to senior nationals, and now I'm going to be converting over to folk style, getting ready for the college season. But it's nice to finally ride on top because that's one of my main things, my favorite things about folk style. So it's nice to finally be able to ride some people out, throw legs in and stuff like that. But no, I like I said, it's all the same thing. Wrestling's wrestling. There's just little differences between the styles, but yeah, no, it's nice to get back to riding people.
dude, I tell everyone this. I remember when you did the camp in Appleton and you were showing like leg technique on top, and I was the dummy. You have some crazy leg riding abilities. Like,
Yeah, it's been a lot of practice. That's actually where I met Braxton at a lot of these camps, were our leg riding camps, and that's where we went to two a year for 10 years straight. So he's going to be
damn.
showing a little bit of that too.
That's awesome. Yeah, some that's a good way to make someone just wish the match was over. But man, so what was your favorite moment of the weekend?
Besides, I mean, it was just like I said, it was just nice to be out there, and it was nice to have fans there. I mean, it was like 50% capacity or something like that,
Okay.
and just getting back out to getting into your warm up routine and getting the matches to having a cool down back to your warm up routine and like having like the schedule. And it was almost like it was built like a Big Ten tournament almost. So it was like just the style as a 2 day tournament and stuff like that. So it was just having the tournament in general was probably just my favorite part. Not even the matches specifically, just being able to get out there and just felt like cooped up and like you're some days you're feeling really good in the room. You're like, wow, I wish I wrestled today, or I wish I competed today. Because you're like, you find out these new things in the room that you're doing that are working really well, and you just want to be able to try them and see if they work in a match. And that was the biggest thing for me. My favorite part was just being able to try all the little things that I was doing in the room that I was changing up a little bit and implement them into a match.
Yeah, do you like obviously you'd probably want to compete more than you have recently, but like do you like kind of having more time to like refine um well, in the season sometimes there's so many matches that like you don't have as much time as you'd like to learn from like your losses and stuff. So, I don't know, like what do you think about wrestling just like once every couple months? Like what has it taught you?
Uh, I like it a lot. I was back in like high school and stuff like that. I had football also in high school, but I really liked like having the ability to like watch and just see and like learn from my matches, whether it was a loss or a win. Be able to like you said, refine. Uh, it's really important to me because like once you get like the middle of the season, it's kind of like, oh, we got a match. It's kind of like you're just coasting through, like just staying like just level because you really can't like even go over. Like you have like Mondays, like when you can go over what you did over the weekend, but then a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you're already preparing
Yeah.
for your next match, like coming down, like you're just getting ready to go for your Friday, Sunday duels, and so you don't get a whole lot of time to just like sit down with coaches, sit down with yourself, sit down with whoever, and just like watch your matches, like figure out what you need to do, what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong. And so you don't get that very often. So it was really nice to have these few months off to go over the last 3 or 4 years I've been wrestling and just be like, how have I changed? How have I adapted? How like what have I gotten better at? What have I gotten worse at? And just like try to like become like this peak wrestler of like getting all the things I've been getting better at, keep those good, and all the things I've been getting worse at, get those better again, and then find some new things to get good at.
Yeah, and I know it's kind of like it's almost like cliche to say now, but the like a lot of the Russians compete a lot less than other countries do, and I think like that's probably why I imagine that just like allows you to really dive into the technique and fall in love with that, and just like see different things. So I know in the season it's kind of a grind, and you just kind of gotta like stick with it sometimes. So
Mhm.
I was kind of interested on your thoughts. But what would you say that you learned last weekend?
I still have a lot to work on. No matter how much time I guess you got to yourself, like you have guys like Paris or like guys like Don Bradley, like the veterans like Don Bradley, new guys like Paris who I'm gonna wrestle. I've already wrestled them like 8 times. Probably gonna wrestle another 10 before we're done. And just having to learn how to adapt more of like a game plan. I kind of go out there and it's more of like I'm gonna do my style and no matter what happens, happens. And what I learned is I need a game plan a little bit more. Like what's gonna work against Hamida is not going to work against Paris, and it's not going to work against Bradley. It's not going to work against Chade. It's not going to work against any of these other guys. And so I need to be aggressive with my style and implement my style, but also have a game plan in the back of my head, being like, okay, like I need to do these certain things. Because like this weekend, kind of just went out there like just doing whatever I did over these 3 4 months of quarantine, and just kind of just threw those out there. And I'm like, all right, well, like whatever happens in this match happens in this match, and just trying to implement a little bit more of a game plan instead of just worrying about myself. And I do want to get to my things because that's where I'm good and that's where I'm going to score a lot of points. But just have a little bit more of a game plan going into my matches.
So is that like just kind of thinking, I know this guy, like to really dumb it down, like I know this guy likes to throw, I'm stay far away from him or something. Like just right before the match you make that decision, or is that like a week before the match you like wrestle like how you'd want to against a certain guy? Like how long before the match do you start implementing that?
For me, I kind of run through a checklist a few matches before my match. Like I know, like for Paris, for example, I know he loves his dump, he loves his fireman, he loves his lefty single. So I kind of run those through my head. I'm like, okay, like just be careful of these. Like don't like avoid them because that's gonna get you away from your style. But like know these things are coming. And so like you wrestle like a guy that does upper body, you're just like, okay, like don't like run away from the ties, but know it's coming, know he's good there, and like respect that he's good there. And so that's more of like how I do it. I don't like wrestling guys in the room that like wrestle a certain style because they're not going to be exactly like that style is. So you can try to copy someone's style as much as possible. You're never gonna get it right. Never gonna get 100%. So that's why I don't like. I'd rather just worry about like myself in the room and just be weary that these guys like I know that these guys know or they're gonna do these certain moves or do these certain ties or do whatever, and just kind of like try implementing my style into this game plan and just like I said, like just know it's coming, but like don't avoid it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like you don't want people to try and like simulate what other guys are doing because they're not going to do it as well as them,
Yeah, because
obviously.
like I can have any guy in my room try to fireman's me, but I know it's not going to be as tight as Paris is. So it's going to
Yeah,
be like it's gonna be one of those things. I'm going to be defending it like it's nothing, and it might mess with my game plan. Be like, oh, I can defend it easily. I was just defending it all week, and then he hits me with it because I didn't feel it like how he does it.
yeah,
So I don't want to get like this mindset of like, oh, I can defend it easy. I don't have to worry about it that much. I'd rather know it's like, okay, like this is what he's very good at. This is what he won a world championship with. Like I know it's coming, but like I'm not gonna avoid it, but I'm gonna know it's coming.
yeah. Fair enough. So like you wrestled Gable and Paris over the summer, or I guess now isn't the summer, but you know what I mean. Um, those are two of like the cream of the crop NCAA heavyweights. Like you're obviously gonna have to beat them this year and next year, but what is it gonna take like for you to get over that hump and knock those guys off?
I think it's all game plan again. Like Gable's one of those guys that your shots are gonna have to be perfect, or he's gonna take you down off of them. And so you're just gonna have to watch his reshots. Paris is one. I've gotten to Paris legs multiple times, and Foul had a few really good matches with him this past year. And so it's like just little things with Paris. Uh, with Gable, it's gonna be more. I'm gonna have to try riding him a little bit harder. And when it comes to on our feet, it's gonna have to be one of those things that my shots are gonna have to be 100% committed, 100% perfect, and that's how I'll take him down or at least neutralize him in his offense because he's got so many weapons on his feet, and a lot of them come off the reshot or come off of a when you get out of position, doing some sort of shot or doing some sort of different tie that he puts you in, and so wrestling a little bit smarter on your feet against Gable. And with Paris, it's I feel like I'm very close with Paris. I get to his legs. I can scramble with him. I can just need to worry about with him too riding a little bit because I mean that's where I'm best at. And neither Gable
Definitely.
have been able to ride a whole lot. And I think that's what I just need to adjust on a little bit more. Is if I can ride them out for like minute and a half or the whole second period or whole third period, then it's going to be a different match because instead of them getting one and putting back on their feet where they're best at, I'm going to be on top, wearing them down, getting them tired, maybe get a stalling call on them. And so just like a lot of it comes down to riding, but just being smart on your feet and like just little things.
Yeah, that's a good point too that you brought in the writing because I guess you obviously wrestled them both in freestyle, so which is obviously different, you
Yeah.
know. I guess they say wrestling is wrestling, but I mean, there's no riding in freestyle. So, good stuff. Um, who, what loss that you had last year are you most looking forward to getting revenge on this year in the college season?
Uh,
Like, what one pissed you off the most?
Probably my Cassiope third and fourth place match at Big Tens because I feel like I wrestled very bad, just horrible, and it was just one of those things that like even if I do come out losing in the next one, I just don't want to wrestle how I did, and because I like he took me down right or not took me down right away, but like I didn't do anything on my feet. He ended up taking me down in the third. I got rode out. He got out in 10 seconds, and that's like not like especially the mat wrestling. That's not like me. It's not like me to let someone out in 10 seconds. It's not like me to get rode out. So one of that's probably what pissed me off the most. Uh, just just feeling that like knowing that I could have wrestled way better than I did, and it's still a pretty close match. That's the one that probably pissed me off the most.
Good stuff. I look forward to you beating him. But you bring up Cassiope now. That's another guy that's also like in that top tier with you, Gable and Paris. But like is I feel like those three guys all have extremely different styles. Like as someone who's wrestled all of them, is that true?
Oh, it's very true. That's the issue with heavyweight, honestly. Like heavyweight was kind of like the laughing stock of NCAA wrestling 10 years ago, and now it's
Yeah.
you guys like Paris who can squat 700 pounds, who are as fast as guys that are 125, who will shoot 50 shots in the first period. Then you run into guys like Gable, whose technique's insane. If you take a shot and it's not perfect, you're going to get taken down. You wrestle guys like Cassiope, who are more your traditional heavyweight, but he's still as athletic as the rest of them, or more athletic than most of the traditional heavyweights, and still has incredible hand fighting and all this other stuff. So this is like where the whole game planning thing comes into play, because they're so different. You can't like, okay, I'll game plan for this guy and it'll be similar to the other one, but they're just complete opposites. And so every single match, like even from Friday to Sunday, like all these styles are just completely different amongst all these teams. Like some team, like, or all these wrestlers, like some can scramble, some really can't. And so just having to do all these game plans is probably the toughest part of wrestling at heavyweight, because you guys are just as fast as the little guys, but can squat 700 pounds, can bench 400 pounds. So
Yeah.
it's definitely, it's like you said, it's right. You're not, it's something that a lot of people kind of overlook, but it's right. I consider heavyweight a different sport just because there's so many different styles.
Yeah. No, for sure. I feel like with this generation of heavyweights, there could be a lot of um, like NFL players, or at least like Division 1 college football players.
I mean, you've seen Gable tweet at the Minnesota football team a whole bunch, and Paris was a very good football player in high school. I don't know if Cassiope played football, but I mean, he's big and athletic, so he definitely could. I mean, you get guys like Kirkvlet that could definitely play football too. So yeah, no, it's definitely a bunch of athletes at heavyweight now.
Okay, you said Gable. That made me think of WWE, and then that made me think of AJ Ferrari. I'm just curious, what do you think about that guy?
I've never met the guy, so I
You
really
see
don't have
his
any.
TikToks though, right?
I've seen his TikToks. I'm not big on TikTok. I find a lot of that stuff pretty cringy on TikTok. But like I said, I've never met the guy in person, so I've got nothing good or bad to say about him. He's a really good wrestler, obviously. I
Yeah.
hope he does well in his career. I don't know if he's going to go heavyweight. So if he goes heavyweight, I hope he does well against everyone besides Wisconsin. So, but yeah, I mean, like I said, I haven't met the guy in person, so I really don't have an opinion on him personally.
Okay, had to ask. But also, yeah, if he went 97, that would be cool if him and Braxton finally wrestled. Because I know,
Yeah, they're supposed to wrestle in a bunch of different matches, and they just haven't been able to work out. So it'd be cool to see that match.
yeah, for sure. Um, Something else I wanted to ask is I've had the man, the myth, the legend, Gas Tank Gary on here twice now. Awesome guy. But I was just curious, what are your thoughts on him and his story?
Uh, Honestly, I love it. Gary's definitely a guy I'd be down to just hang out with. A few, like, just go and hang out with. He seems like a great guy. Like I've never just like sat down and hung out with him, but watching your podcast, just like the little bit I've like interacted with him, like, even through matches, he just seems like a really good guy. Like really down to earth. So I love the story. I mean, he took his opportunity and ran with it and got this nickname that's known across the world.
Yeah.
And people are just the Covelli Center would just go nuts whenever he was his turn to wrestle. And like even seeing stuff out of Big Tens, people yelling "Gas Tank Gary," and like that's just what he's known by around this country. And he was the backup before the year, so it's just kind of crazy that I mean, he took his opportunity and ran with it, and he did a very good job with it. So I do love the story. It's awesome. He seems like a great guy. Uh, but yeah, no, the whole situation, I just think it's awesome. Great nickname too, Gaston Gary. So works
Yeah.
out perfect.
Yeah. That's awesome to hear. But yeah, he told me that he trained at a car dealership that just like happened to have wrestling mats over the summer. I just kind of lost it. Thought that was
That's
hilarious.
awesome.
So, yeah, and I think it's cool when guys who like obviously he's a very good wrestler, but like when you're just as good as him and you have like the fame that he does, that's just always like quite a phenomenon. It's
Mm.
interesting stuff. But yeah. Um, so just in general, what are your favorite parts about Wisconsin, like the team and then the state?
The team, everyone gets along. Like a lot of teams, especially when I first got here, it was kind of like cliquey. There's these people that hang out with certain people. Like you wouldn't see anybody until practice time, or they'd have their own set of friends. But the we have really adapted into like this, like I know it's cliche, but it's one big happy family type of thing. Like we'll have like team Christmases, team Thanksgivings, and everyone's there, including girlfriends, including dogs, including all this other stuff. So it's uh it's really awesome to just be a part of like a team that's there's like no one like no outcast. Everyone's there. Everyone's having fun with each other. Everyone's talking to each other. Everyone knows their girlfriends really well. Everyone like knows their parents really well. So it's literally like you have a friendship forever with these guys because you just got to know them so well throughout this. And even the freshmen come in, or the gap year guys will come in and like are treated like they've been here for 5 years. And so that's probably my favorite part about the team. As far as the state, it's very similar to my home state. So I'm from Michigan, and obviously you always have a little love for your home state. And it's very similar. Like for Madison in particular, I just love the atmosphere, and everyone's just crazy about University of Madison, University of Wisconsin-Madison. So like that's like everyone's pride and joy. We're only like really big D1 school in the state. So like you go around the state and everyone's like, oh, go Badgers, go Badgers. Like, and so it's always just the pride of the university is just huge across the state. And Madison's a beautiful campus. The football games are awesome when you're allowed to go there, obviously. But
Yeah.
no, just the whole state is just super prideful of the university, and just Madison's a beautiful campus.
Awesome. Um, have you heard of Verona?
I have heard of Verona.
Okay. Yeah, that's where I live. It's like 20 minutes away. Is there
Oh,
anything in Verona that you can give a shout out to?
okay. Yeah. I don't know anything
You don't
Verona.
know
Just
anything.
no, I just
Uh,
have heard of Verona. I'm
Unreal.
sorry.
All
I
right.
don't have a car. I just have my moped here on campus, so I go about a max of a mile off campus.
That hurts. But all right, I can use you for one more thing. Are there any good restaurants in Madison that you'd recommend? Or what's your favorite one?
Ooh, my favorite one. So I'm a big sushi guy, and I love Sequoia down sushi. I'm sure if you've ever had Tristan Moran, or Evan might have mentioned it too, but if you ever have them on here, they love Sequoia.
Evan
And
mentioned that he ate sushi like before weigh-ins with his mom before every
he
tournament.
eats sushi like every single time we compete. So that's
That's
like his.
crazy.
But no, he loves sushi. But Sequoia is probably my favorite sushi. Then there's Dottie's Dumpling Dowry is a very good burger place. So that's probably my favorite place on campus. 'Cause I'm a huge burger guy. So
Okay. Um, yeah, that's crazy that Evan said he like doesn't have trouble making weight, even though he's like 7 feet tall. That
yeah,
really threw me off guard.
yeah, no, it's shocking to me, and I weigh in with the dude. It's like there's no way 165 fits that easy in your body.
Yeah. Um, so is that sushi place an all you can eat sushi place? Are there any of those around here?
All you can eat. I don't think there's any all you can eat. There's a few pretty good cheap sushi places around, like Sushi Express. I know it doesn't sound like it'd be very good, but it's a
I'll
pretty
try
good
it.
place. It's a pretty good
Okay.
place. It's relatively cheap, so that's usually my go-to if I just want to have sushi one night. Instead of
Okay.
Sequoia's pretty expensive.
Oh, one last question, just because this is kind of funny. Have you ever had the peanut butter chicken at QQ's?
I have not.
Do you know what
I've,
that is?
I've heard of it.
Okay.
Evan's talked about it.
Okay. It's someone told me it was really good. It was disgusting. It was like one chicken wing inside like a peanut butter jar. Terrible ratio.
That's
But
that's really interesting.
anyways, what do you miss most about Michigan?
Uh, just the friends and family, honestly. Uh, I'm a big family guy. Always have been. It was hard leaving them. It's hard to make that decision and be like, hey, I'm going to be 8 hours away. At least it's only 8 hours away instead of could have gone to Stanford or anywhere on the West Coast or stuff like that. So that's the hardest part because I don't get to see my family except for like maybe at tournaments I get to see them for 10, 15 minutes or but like to hang out with him and go home and see my dogs and see my friends that I throughout high school. I mean, maybe see them once a year, twice a year at most. So that's probably the thing I miss the most.
Did you go back and live with them like when the quarantine stuff started?
Yeah, like when it first started, I was there for about a month-ish, about a month and a half maybe, and
Okay.
So I trained with a couple of guys out there, but it was good to like finally be back. It felt weird. I felt like I was at home again. I felt like I was back in high school. I was waking up out of my
Yeah,
bed in high school, and it
yeah,
was definitely weird. But it was nice to see everybody, and you got to like hang out with your friends multiple days in a row. Because usually when I'm home, it's like 2 or 3 days. So like I'm rushing to go hang out with my friends, and I have to leave like the next couple days. So
yeah.
it was good to just be able to hang out and just enjoy the family time and friend time, and get to hang out with my dogs for a while, and just all of that was nice.
What kind of dogs do you have?
So I got two small dogs. So I got
Okay,
a Shih Tzu and a Chinzu, which is Japanese Chin and Shih Tzu mix.
okay. I'll have to look that one up, but
Yeah.
sounds cute. What do you like to do outside of wrestling?
So I play a lot of video games, and so that's probably the thing I like to do the most. And I mean, I like watching football, hanging out with the friends, watching basketball. So I'll watch like almost any sporting event that's on TV. But probably my biggest thing to do, just hang out and play video games when I'm done with school and not wrestling or sleeping or whatever else I'm doing.
What kind of video games do you play?
So I play sports video games, play Madden and 2K. Also been playing a lot of Warzone recently. I'm excited for the new Call of Duty to come out. So yeah, those are my big ones right now. With the new Xbox coming out, I don't know what I'm going to get into, but
Do you play with
so,
your roommates?
yeah. So I just got a Warzone dub right before this actually, and
Nice.
with
Awesome.
my roommates. So yeah, a lot of our team plays Fortnite though, and I've kind of moved off the Fortnite train.
Yeah, it's tough. There's so many like you just get beat by like 10-year-olds and it's demeaning, so
Yeah, no,
it's
that's
tough
very.
to
I don't know how to build like they do. It's kind of sad.
yeah. But who's the best Madden player in the house?
Oh, I'm the best Madden player. I don't.
Okay.
Not even close. I don't
All
think it's
right.
close.
It's a solid, humble
I
answer.
take pride in my Madden.
Who is in
Yeah.
who lives with you?
So I have Garrett Model, Devin Barr, the Wick brothers, Pat Spray, Tyler Dow, and Ethan Rotundo. I think that's all of them, right? Yeah, it's 8 of us, so we got a big
Okay.
house.
What about best 2K player?
I would like to take that too, but I heard Tristan Moran is also a very good 2K player. I know he's not on the team anymore, but I've heard he's a pretty good 2K player. Not a whole lot of people on our team play like the sports games, but he's challenged me in a few 2K games. We haven't matched it up yet and haven't played each other, but so I don't know, maybe him. Maybe we need to get our game in.
How good are you at Madden? I'm just curious.
So I haven't played a whole lot of this Madden, but last Madden, they have like this weekend league stuff, and I was top 100 in the world a couple times.
Okay, so you get pretty into it. Okay, good stuff.
Yeah,
All right, I'm not even gonna pretend that I'm gonna start talking shit about how I beat you because I'm not gonna. But yeah, I guess my last question for you is if you were on one of these pro cards, maybe after the season or whatever, who would you want to wrestle on it?
uh, I mean, I've been seeing a lot of the Nittany Lion one. I mean, Kirklet, I haven't wrestled him yet. I've wrestled Paris and Gable and Cassiopeia, all these guys a bunch, but I mean, Kirklet would be one. I don't know, maybe like an Adam Kuhn or something like that, like bringing a veteran type of guy and see like one of those matches. I used to practice with him a bunch over at Michigan, the Michigan RTC. So someone high level guy that I haven't wrestled yet. Obviously, I would be down to wrestle a Gable or a Paris or a Cassiopeia or any of those guys too. But just someone new, just a high level guy that I haven't wrestled yet.
Awesome. Yeah, I'd be looking forward to you versus Adam Kuhn. I think that would be fun for the fans to watch. But any last words to leave the people with?
I've got nothing.
Awesome. Well, appreciate you hopping on, Trent.
Oh yeah, thank you for having me.
That's all I got for you guys. Huge shout out to Trent for taking the time to do the podcast, and shout out to you for tuning in. I appreciate it. If you guys want a t-shirt, you can find them at tdpclothing.com. That's T as in takedown, D as in double egg, P as in pin, clothing.com. There's 5 different colors. They look awesome. And the fan of the week this week is my man Evan Knopp. He is a coworker, but he also listens to the podcast, wasn't even a wrestler, and he left an awesome review. If you guys want to be a fan of the week, get yourself a t-shirt or leave a review. I really appreciate that stuff. Anyways, that's all I got for you. Have a great rest of your week. See ya.